Hello, this is CatAllergy, and welcome to Twisted-Wonderland MBTI analysis. Today, our character is Leona Kingscholar. Before we get started, here's our goal with analyzing characters: accuracy. We want to ensure quality and that MBTI holds up to the character. Comfort. We want those with this MBTI to feel heard and comforted in this character. Understanding. We would like everyone to acknowledge that this character is this MBTI and to be able to properly understand and view this character through that lens. In analyzing these characters, I don't view them how I want to view them. I am not viewing these characters from a limited scope. I'm viewing these characters from every bit about them down to their core. So I'm viewing them for who they are. With that out of the way, welcome aboard to this video. After a lot of countless research, my studies have both shown and proven that Leona Kingscholar is in fact an INTJ. What are INTJs? INTJs, otherwise known as the architect personality, are known for having a plan for everything. Their minds are never at rest. Architects are strategic thinkers. They're rational, logical, and can sometimes be arrogant and dismissive of emotions. Let's start by breaking down each letter. I means introverted. Introverts have a limited social battery and need to focus on recharging by being alone or just stay quiet after a social event. For most introverts, they feel shy before meeting someone. For others, they might not feel as shy, but feel on edge that they have to meet somebody new. N means intuitive. This means focusing on the future possibilities and looking beyond just the past. Now, of course, every person looks upon both the present and the future. The intuitive may have had mixed pasts, but they are very focused on the future and often will take actions to build themselves and/or other people a better future. Most intuitives don't live as much in the moment as others do. T means thinker. Most of the fandom can agree that Leona is a thinker. Being a thinker means you prioritize facts, rationality, etc. more than you do emotions and feelings. So you prioritize everything rational, and the feelings can sometimes be left behind because you believe that it's not as important as the facts. Now, J means judging. This means that you aren't open to new ideas if you got your mind specifically set on one thing. Sometimes you can be open to new ideas, but it is very difficult for a J to do so. They are pretty confident in their decision making. Unfortunately, as much as Leona is a very judgmental person, the large portion of the fan base who uses the personality database have given Leona a P. Somebody with a P is a perceiver and sometimes can be called a prospector. People who have a P are always open to new ideas. Leona constantly shows that he is not open to new ideas. Even if he is, which is quite rare, it has to line up with rationality. Now that we've got that squared away, we are going to dive into specific scenes in the game that I find apply to these specific personality details.
買い物も散歩も一人で好きなようにぶらつくのが楽でいい。てめえが想像しているような騒がしい場所はごめんだ。どうせ飛行術で行くなら他の人間はそうそう来られない偏僻な場所がいい。 そうだろ。自分で汗水垂らす以外にもやり方はあるってことだ。どんな駒でも使いどころはある。それを考える程度ならやってやってもいい。駒が結果を出せば俺も楽できてウィンウィンだから。
I'm stronger than ever. I'll rise above. I'll fight.
Rational, informed, independent, determined, curious, original, arrogant, dismissive of emotions, overly critical, combative, socially clueless. Remember how I mentioned the personality database earlier? Well, get this. Leona is mostly voted as an S. That is for sensing. Sensors are people who live in the moment, or people who just really focus on the present. They use facts, evidence, historical events, anything that dwelled in the past to help them decide what to do in the moment, in the present. Sometimes the tricky thing for these sensors is to have an open mind. If one thing was a certain way, how could it be this way now? And for others, it is simply just, how can I see into the future if I should focus on now? And we totally get that people are saying that he's sensing for one reason. Leona is hurt by his past, but to say Leona is grounded by past knowledge and has no intuition is not quite accurate at all. Now keep in mind, every person has a bit of intuition a part of their functions, but Leona is pretty dominant in intuition. Leona doesn't even want to go back to his family. And did you know that he's 20 years old? He still hasn't graduated from Night Raven College. Why do you think this has happened? He's most likely doing this to avoid his family, so that he doesn't have to go back home. If he truly was an ISTP, as about, I would say, 150 people voted him as, that would just completely overrule how he feels about his family. It would even change the entire course of Book 2. And speaking of intuition, Leona's cognitive functions were voted as introverted thinking and extroverted sensing. What? The functions I believe he has? Introverted intuition and extroverted thinking. These cognitive functions, say what you might, aren't actually just random ones to assign to an MBTI as seen fit. No, they're a part of the MBTI. First, here's the one they believe Leona is. Now, this is the INTJ one I've been showing you the proof of for today. As you can see, the only thing they both share is internal intuition and external sensing. The orders are different and it goes from dominant to inferior. Dominant is the most used and inferior is the least used. Back to what they said about external sensing for ISTP, it was definitely not Leona. A lot of people seem to think Leona has this edge, this mentality of, I live now, so don't bother me. Again, people are just seeing him sleep. Leona has shown us time and time again, especially with Book 2, that he's got so many strategic plans. For instance, would an ISTP really come up with this scheme for the future and the what ifs and say it confidently to their rival?
あの寮の連中はビルのしつけが行き届いている。統制が取れている群れは御しやすい。あいつらは力のある人間に従順だからな。寮長の座さえ手に入れちまえばこっちのもんだ。
It's a known fact that ISTP's function of external sensing, when discovered, is there to help people and make the world a better place. According to the psychologists who are a part of Type in Mind, ISTPs want so badly to live in the right now that they don't want to think about the past or the future, which is really interesting for a sensor. Leona is always thinking about that, though. His internal intuition and external thinking even allowed him to make this decision.
ああ、有望なやつを思いついた。無人島に一人連れて行くならカリムを選ぶ。
アジーム？脱出という観点だと意外な人選にも思えるな。
まさか脱出なら少なくともこの学園ではカリム以上に役に立つやつはいない。あいつはあのアジーム家の跡取りだ。一日でも姿が見えなかったら 周りが黙っていないだろう。早ければ無人島に着いた当日、遅くても3日もすれば救助が来るはずだ。あのカリムが俺を置いていくような薄情な真似をするとは考えづらい。何せ俺はあいつの学友らしいからな。
そういう発想もあるのか。お前
See? He even confused him! When we call Leona an ISTP, we're limiting him. We're basically saying,
Hey, Leona talks about plans only 'cause he's trying to fix the world for everyone. He predicts what people will do and analyze what he can do so that he understands the right now, but he doesn't like theories.
ISTP put up a great battle. It really did. And for a while I was like, wait, is it ISTP? But even still, I analyzed everything. Even still, ISTP is sadly very inaccurate. INTJs, just like anyone, can procrastinate. So if there's some of you out there saying Leona puts off too much work, just know there's definitely a reason for that. And it can't disprove the fact he's an INTJ. Everything adds up perfectly and proves he's in fact an INTJ. And every MBTI can be dynamic. Every MBTI can be dynamic. Some people are going to be more lazy. Some people are going to be better at their hard work than others. And you know, that's just a part of life. We're all unique. This is why it's called a personality type. Because inside of that type, inside of these cognitive functions and these details about us that's all the same, we have unique differences.
秀才だがなんだか知らねえよ。年上をなめるなよ。あいにく俺は防衛魔法の成績がいいんだ。
I'm stronger
Of
than ever.
course, we can't finish this video yet without me mentioning Scar, the king of beasts. The villain, the very villain that Leona Kingscholar is based on in this game, in this franchise, in this Twisted-Wonderland media. So, Scar is actually listed as an INTJ everywhere. Scar is well known as an INTJ. Well known as an INTJ. Directly based on Scar, right? Just twisted up to be this anime dude. So why wouldn't the crew of this game, who are working for, you know, Disney's benefit, why wouldn't they want to ensure this accuracy? And we've seen that this accuracy has been applied. We've seen Scar in the movie literally go to sleep all the time. Just go to bed. Literally, just lays down on the ground, like literally, because he had nothing to do. And that's what we always believed. We always believed Scar was so fed up by the way that his brother Mufasa treated him, by the way Simba just got everything he wanted and had the promise of being king, and Scar had nothing, which is why he always did nothing, because Scar was bitter. Now Scar could have gone out, could have done things, but no, he didn't. He chose to stay there because he didn't get what he wanted. And what are we seeing with Leona? What are we seeing with Leona? Did I or did I not just mention that Leona is still in Night Raven College and he's like 20 years old, and most students have graduated by that age. Most students have graduated. Leona's still there. Like, Leona is still there. Like, why do you think he's doing that? So, again, if an INTJ can do this, which they very well can, I mean, like, why do we have to say that Leona is anything else? Get your personality database accounts ready. Vote Leona Kingscholar as INTJ. Heck, if you see anyone in the comments saying INTJ, go thumbs up their comment. And if you want to add a little more insight, little more things you figured out about Leona, go tell people about it. Let's ensure quality here. Let's ensure that our characters are accurately put on there, because we all love Twisted Wonderland. We all love these characters. Let's be that franchise. Let's be it. The one that has the complete MBTI. The ones who got it right. And then everyone will be like, what? They're amazing. So, that just about brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing and liking the video, as I have poured a lot of love and hard work into creating this. If you sat through this whole entire video, I really would like to thank you. I put a lot of effort into making sure that this was accurate, and I hope that my goals were achieved in this and you feel like this is accurate, that you feel understood if you're also an INTJ. I hope that you have the most wonderful time wherever you're at in life. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.